Here are some weird and true cleaning stories. Today we are looking at a few people in history and in our present day whose lives have been transformed by cleanliness and decluttering. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I blog and make videos about cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. You can find my free printables to help you get organized in the drop-down menu under the printables category over at dmiddleton.com. Now, let's get inspired to clean and declutter by looking at a few real and inspirational characters. The first story comes from a very different time in history and has more to do with clean laundry and hygiene than it does with cleaning homes. My first weird and true historical story comes from Queen Isabella I of Castile, one of the most powerful rulers in Spanish history, who supposedly vowed not to change her clothing or take a bath until the city of Granada was conquered during the Reconquista. Granada was the last Muslim stronghold in Spain, and the siege lasted for several months. During this time, Queen Isabella's dedication to cleanliness was, to say the least, lacking. According to legend, she didn't bathe or change her clothes for the entirety of the siege, which lasted about 8 months. This unusual vow reportedly resulted in serious hygiene issues and a lasting reputation for her lack of cleanliness. At that time, personal hygiene was often neglected, with bathing being seen as unhealthy by many in medieval Europe. Despite her personal sacrifice, Isabella was celebrated for her role in uniting Spain and Granada and was eventually captured in 1492. The story highlights bizarre attitudes toward cleanliness in some parts of history, where even royalty didn't prioritize personal hygiene, in contrast to our modern obsessions with clean homes and personal care. Now fast forward to today and let's look at a modern person who is very inspiring. A fascinating true story about how a clean home helped change someone's life is that of Joshua Becker, the founder of the popular minimalist blog Becoming Minimalist. Becker was an ordinary suburban dad living in Vermont when a single moment of clarity shifted his life's trajectory. One weekend in 2008, Becker was cleaning out his garage, frustrated by the amount of time it took to maintain his possessions. His young son was playing in the yard, repeatedly asking for his dad's attention, but Becker was stuck organizing and managing his clutter. In a passing conversation, his neighbor casually mentioned the concept of minimalism, saying, "Maybe you don't need to own all of this stuff." That simple statement planted a seed in Becker's mind. He began reflecting on how much time, money, and energy he was spending on things he didn't truly need or even value. His garage, overflowing with unused items, represented a bigger problem in his life. His constant pursuit of more stuff was distracting from what truly mattered: his relationships and personal well-being. Inspired, Becker decided to radically declutter his home. Over the next several months, he and his family went through their possessions and got rid of anything that didn't serve a real purpose or bring joy to their lives. The impact was profound. With less stuff, they had more time to spend together, more money to allocate toward meaningful experiences, and a sense of mental clarity that came with living a simpler, cleaner, and more intentional space. Joshua Becker's decision to declutter not only changed his personal life, but also led to a thriving career as a writer, speaker, and an advocate for minimalist living. His blog, Becoming Minimalist, has since inspired millions of people around the world to simplify their homes and find greater purpose through less. In this case, a clean, clutter-free home didn't just improve Becker's day-to-day life, it became the foundation for a life of greater meaning and purpose, showing how decluttering and simplifying can lead to profound transformation. A similar story of how a clean and decluttered home transforms someone's life is that of Marie Kondo, the Japanese organizing consultant and the author behind the best-selling book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. When Marie Kondo is now a household name thanks to her KonMari method, her journey to a clutter-free life began with her own personal experience of transformation. As a young girl, Kondo was fascinated with organization and would often spend hours tidying her room and helping others in her home organize their spaces. However, despite her passion for cleanliness, she found herself trapped in a cycle of constantly tidying and achieving long-lasting results. She then realized that mere cleaning or moving things around wasn't enough to create a truly organized and peaceful home. Her turning point came when she discovered her now famous approach to decluttering, focusing not just on reducing clutter, but on keeping the items that spark joy. Rather than organizing by room or location, Kondo decided to declutter by category: clothes, books, papers, and so on, methodically going through every item in her home and asking herself if it sparks joy or brought genuine happiness. This practice was revolutionary for her, leading her to pare down her belongings dramatically and create a home that felt truly peaceful, orderly, and filled with intention. As Kondo applied her new method to her own life, she experienced profound changes. Not only did she feel a sense of relief and mental clarity, but she also discovered that a clutter-free, joyful home positively impacted her mindset, relationships, and overall sense of well-being. This transformation inspired her to share her method with others. The KonMari method quickly gained widespread attention, and Kondo soon became an international sensation. Her approach helped millions of people around the world simplify their homes, with the philosophy of sparking joy became a cornerstone of the decluttering movement. Her work also led to a popular Netflix series, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, further cementing her influence on the world of organization. Marie Kondo's story shows how the process of decluttering and organizing one's home can create deeper emotional, psychological changes, leading to a more intentional, fulfilling life. By teaching people to focus on what truly brings them joy, Kondo transformed not only her own life, but the lives of countless others. Another compelling story of how a clean and decluttered home changed someone's life is that of Courtney Carver, the creator of the Project 333 Minimalist Fashion Challenge. Carver's journey began not with an interest in organizing, but with a major life event that forced her to reevaluate everything: a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis in 2006. At the time of her diagnosis, Carver was leading a fast-paced, high-stress life filled with long hours at work, financial pressures, and the constant pursuit of more material possessions. She found herself overwhelmed by stress, debt, and the burden of maintaining a lifestyle focused on accumulating things. Her MS diagnosis was a wake-up call. It forced her to reconsider her priorities. She realized that stress and clutter in her life could be making her illness worse, and that she needed to simplify her world in order to heal, both physically and emotionally. One of the first steps she took was decluttering her wardrobe, which was bursting with clothes she didn't need or wear. This led her to create Project 333, a personal experiment which she limited herself to wearing just 33 items of clothing, including shoes and accessories, for 3 months. The goal was to reduce the number of possessions she owned and reduce decision fatigue, simplifying her mornings and reduce the mental clutter that came from an overflowing closet. What started as a small wardrobe challenge grew into a lifestyle transformation. As Carver reduced the number of possessions she owned, she felt lighter, less stressed, and more in control of her life. Decluttering her home helped her clear her mind and focus on what truly mattered: her health, her family, and her well-being. The process of simplifying her physical space gave her mental clarity and emotional freedom to prioritize her health and happiness. Carver's success with Project 333 didn't just transform her personal life, it also became the foundation for a new career. She began writing about minimalism, simplicity, and living with intention on her blog, Be More with Less, which has since grown into a popular resource for those looking to simplify their lives. Her message of using minimalism to reduce stress, increase well-being, and focus on what matters most has resonated with countless people worldwide. Courtney Carver's story illustrates how decluttering and simplifying can lead to profound personal change. By stripping away the excess and focusing on the essentials, she not only improved her physical health, but also found a new purpose and a career that continues to inspire others to live more intentional, clutter-free lives. Another powerful story about how a clean and decluttered home transforms someone's life is that of Francine Jay, known as Miss Minimalist, who became a leading voice in the minimalist movement. Francine's journey began after she and her husband decided to move abroad. They were living in a large home filled with things they had accumulated over the years: furniture, clothes, decorations, gadgets, and keepsakes. Preparing for the move forced her to confront just how much stuff they owned, much of which they rarely used or didn't even really need. During the process of downsizing for their move, Francine had an epiphany. Instead of feeling stressed about getting rid of things, she found herself feeling freer and lighter with each item she let go of. The less clutter she had, the more space she felt as she had in her mind and her life. The physical act of decluttering became a symbolic of letting go of emotional baggage, unnecessary commitments, and societal pressures to constantly accumulate more. This inspired her to embrace minimalism, not just as a practical approach to moving, but as a lifestyle. She began living with only the essentials and focusing on things that truly added value to her life. The change was profound. Her home became a calm, peaceful sanctuary, and the lack of clutter allowed her to live more intentionally with greater clarity and focus. Francine's personal transformation led her to share her newfound philosophy with others. She began writing about minimalism on her blog, Miss Minimalist, and later published the book, The Joy of Less, which became a popular guide to decluttering and simplifying life. Her minimalist approach encouraged people to see that the constant pursuit of material possessions often adds stress rather than joy, and that living with less can lead to greater freedom, happiness, and fulfillment. By decluttering her home and simplifying her possessions, Francine Jay not only changed her life, but also inspired thousands of others to do the same. Her story illustrates how physical clutter can lead to emotional clarity when we get rid of it, more intentional living, and a deeper sense of peace, an approach that resonates with many who feel overwhelmed by the pressures of modern consumerism. In this case, a clean home wasn't just about creating a more organized space, it became a catalyst for a complete lifestyle transformation. I hope you found these stories as inspiring as I have. Let me know your story of cleaning and decluttering in the comments below. Thanks for watching.